When I started getting migraines and vertigo, also known as severe dizziness, seeing doctors, they put me on medications, and these medications have a lot of side effects. And some of them were suicidal thoughts. We'll be talking about that today. Hello everybody, it's Mike, the Baldadonis. Boom! If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mike the Baldadonis, and I talk about many different topics. Sharing life experiences, one video at a time is my motto. I talk about being 21 years old and going to prison for 5 years and 3 months on a first-time drug offense. Only to get out unhappy with my body, I decided to do steroids, to gain 105 pounds of pure muscle, to have a heart attack, along with many other steroid-related health issues. Currently, I deal with migraines and vertigo due to today's environmental pollution, today's foods, and VOCs. I talk about cars. Cars I buy and sell as a hobby, and I take you along with me, showing you the pros and cons of each vehicle. I have a mentor, Dr. Peter Picoco. He comes in, talks about inspiration. I have Gary from the gym. He talks about conspiracy theories. And I also have other people that come on board and talk about their interesting life stories as well. How did I get my suicidal thoughts? Well, from my doctor, of course. He prescribed me medications. But before that, how did it all start? How did I get to this point? How did it begin? It began about 7 years ago. I buy and sell cars as a hobby. A friend of mine owned a repair shop. I was able to do a lot of work at his shop, and being surrounded by all these chemicals, all these solvents, the paints, the cleaning products, the exhaust systems. I own many cars, a lot of hot rods, race cars, and at that time I was building what they call a rat rod. I had two projects, a rat rod tow truck and a Volkswagen squareback station wagon that I was getting the patina look. So I was scraping down all the paint, so I had that rustic or rusty look. The tow truck was bare metal for the most part, and taking layers of old paint, sanded down, stripping. This is when I started feeling all these issues, and the issues started with like migraine. What it felt like it was a sinus infection. And I noticed as time went on, I was getting several sinus infections. And then it came to a point where a doctor told me, well, for dizziness, you need maybe an over-the-counter drug, try Dremeline. I was like, okay, so Dremeline is for dizziness. And the side effects, so some of the side effects are little to no urination, confusion, mood changes, tremors, restfulness, a seizure, convulsions, fast or irregular heartbeats, drowsiness, dry mouth, constipation, blurred vision, feeling of restless and excited, especially in children, tinnitus. So after that didn't work, I tried Benadryl. Benadryl, the doctor told me, take it twice a day. Okay. All right, Benadryl, the doctor told me to take twice a day, which is for treating allergies, hives, insomnia, motion sickness, and mild case of Parkinson's. Now, what I got out of that was I was forgetting everything, literally. I'd walk down to my kitchen, go into my fridge, and wonder why I was at my fridge. I'd go from my fridge to my counter saying, what was I supposed to get out of the fridge? I recall going to Home Depot, and I had to write a list out because I forgot everything. Only to get to Home Depot, and I forgot the list. And I sat there in the middle of Home Depot, freaking out, saying, why am I here? I had to then call up my sister who lives next door to me, go into my house, and read me the list. So some of the side effects along with that is drowsiness, fatigue, tiredness, sleepiness, dizziness, disturbed coordination, dry mouth, nose, throat, difficulty urinating, upset stomach, blurred vision, double vision, tremor, loss of appetite, headache, or nauseous. Okay, so I have vertigo and dizziness, and this causes it. And I got tinnitus, ringing of the ears from taking these medications. So things are bothering me throughout the house. Candles, your plug-ins, detergent, your home cleaning products, my rug, I had to replace my rug. I had to get new furniture. I went through 5 sets of living room furniture sets within 18 months. There's a lot of things that I had to change. I had to see a biofeedback specialist to see what was going on with me. That was very interesting, and her name was Michelle Corey. And what she taught me was all the foods that we eat are genetically modified, gluten. So in the food aspect, I was able to take care of that. And after a couple of years, I dialed in what I could and could not eat. And now if I eat something that that's not clean, like I eat all organic for the most part. No dairy, no GMOs, no gluten. But if I take that, I will have vertigo for about 2 hours until it gets out of my system. Now, when you do these tests, I have to see a specialist it took probably about 4 or 5 months to see my neurologist. So the first stop was your primary care. She sets you up to Mass Eye and Ear to do all the testing to see if there was an imbalance, there wasn't. And then from there, I seen the allergist specialist, and I had a little bit of mold issue, but other than that, nothing. And then the neurologist. And the neurologist prescribed amitriptyline. And amitriptyline had a lot of side effects. I was a complete mess. I don't recall all of it. It's been quite a few years now, maybe 5 years ago. But I know I went to the emergency room several times because of the side effects, over drinking water and having stroke-like conditions. And that was very scary. Amitriptyline is an antidepressant. It is used for depression. Why would you give me this when I don't have depression? I have dizziness. So the side effects of this medication: abdominal or stomach pain, agitation, black tarry stools, bleeding gums, blood in the urine or stools, blurred vision, burning, crawling, itching, numbness, prickling, pins and needles or tingling feelings, change in consciousness, changes of patterns and rhythm of speech, what I have today still, chest pains or discomfort, chills, cold sweat, coma, confusion about identity, place, and time, convulsions, cool pale skin, cough or hoarseness, dark urine, difficulty breathing, difficulty speaking, disturbed concentration, dizziness, faintness, lightheadedness. That is a bad drug right there. After getting off that medication, he put me on Topamax. Topamax has several side effects, and this is the one that got me. This is the one that gave me suicidal thoughts. And after that, I was like, I'm done with medication. I was only on it for a couple of weeks or a month or so, I don't recall. But I knew As soon as I started having suicidal thoughts, I was like, I'm done. The side effects: tiredness, drowsiness, dizziness, nervousness, numbness or tingling feeling in the hands and feet, coordination problems, diarrhea, weight loss, speech, language problems, change of vision, sensory distortion, loss of appetite, bad taste in your mouth, confusion, slow thinking, trouble concentrating or paying attention, memory problems, and cold symptoms such as stuffy nose, sneezing, or sore throat. Signs of kidney stones, fever, chills, painful, frequent urination, bloody pink urine, unusual or sudden changes in your mood, thoughts, or behavior, including signs of depression, suicidal thoughts, attempts, thoughts about harming yourself. What the doctor tells me? Oh, if that doesn't work, just try some natural remedies like magnesium glycinate and migraines, all natural products. I was like, why didn't you tell me that in the first place? Instead of putting me on medications. Do you know what I dealt with for a few years? Driving, wanted to swerve and hit other people. Anger all the time. I had shot fuses. I had these trigger points. As soon as I smelt something from the environment, diesel smoke, gasoline, somebody smoking, trigger points. I can smell dog hair on people's clothing, a trigger point. I can smell everything. Perfume, cologne, dyes in our clothing. It just went on and on and on. It's just crazy on how this happened to me. So I stopped taking the medications. I had been on just the magnesium and the migraines, and that helped so much. But you have to eliminate things that bother you. My house is one of my biggest problems. The whole VOC type of thing, the volatile organic compounds that are in every single product just about. I had bed sheets I had to change constantly. I had to buy pillowcases all the time. Detergent, just all natural. I had to go to organic type of cleaning products like plant-based soaps. I had to use baking soda and vinegar. That's it. That's my cleaning products. I still have problems with my oil. My house is run with oil. And every once in a while, it gets a hiccup from a downdraft, and I get the exhaust system smell in through my house, and I get vertigo and migraines, and then I get these trigger points that set me off, and I'm miserable, and I want to move, and I don't want to move. I get that with my cars that I buy. The VOCs in each car. I can smell somebody that smoked in the car, and I'm totally a mess. I can't be with anybody that was a smoker. I can't buy a car from a smoker. The cars that are older, like I had a Mercedes AMG from 2002, that old leather smell, vertigo. I just can't deal with it. The old or any kind of exhaust system smell triggers me. So I've been living in hell for quite a long time. A couple years ago, a friend of mine had a 10-year-old daughter dying from brain cancer. Knowing that your friend's daughter at 10 years old is going to die at any point now. They did everything. They went to all the children's doctors, the hospitals, the specialists, everything. Knowing that a child's going to die and that I had to go to a funeral for a 10-year-old set my suicidal thoughts to the max. I've been freaking out for a long time. I had to sit there and see psychiatrists. I almost checked myself in. To a cuckoo place. Seriously. I was just this close. I talked to one of my doctors, and we talked for a little while, and he straightened me out a little bit and gave me books to read. I watched TED Talks, And I keep learning that I'm not alone in this situation. How to stop thinking about the stupid suicidal thoughts but you have no control over it. So I read many different books. I have Dr. Peter Pococo, he's my mentor. He got me through a lot of stuff on different topics to watch on documentaries, TED Talks, and I just kept learning and taking everything in, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. One day, I was at the gym, and I was losing it. And Dr. Pete said, hey, when you start telling your stories on YouTube, tell them about your interesting life stories. And I did. 2 years ago, I started doing these videos to help me help you. I talk about my steroid abuse. I talk about being in prison. I'm talking about medications, why you shouldn't be taking them if you really don't need to. You get blasted by TV all day about taking medications when you don't need them. Mostly, it's food changes that will get you off medication. High blood pressure. Anything to do with foods can change the symptoms that you have. It's pretty simple. Inflammation in your body when you're stressed. It's very difficult because having that trigger point, you can snap at any time. Anytime. You want to hurt somebody? You want to snap at somebody? You get that person smoking a cigarette, and they just don't give two shits. Think about this when you go food shopping the next time, or wherever you're going to go. You get out of your car, and that cigarette just wafts right to you. Or you're sitting there at the red light, your windows down. You can't even enjoy a few seconds of fresh air when that cigarette or that diesel smoke comes in, or that motorcycle, or that piece of shit car that's running really bad and it's just all fumes, piles in your car. That stays in my lungs and it stays in my head. Fire. People with burning firewood. That's a lot of chemicals being burnt off. I'm affected by that. So when I go to family reunions and I see people at wherever I may be, the fireplace, I can't, or the fire pits, I can't be near that stuff. It's just all carbon. It's all formaldehyde. It's just poison. And you're just surrounding yourself by that. And everybody around you. Suicidal thoughts is not anything to laugh at. It's very scary. It's super scary. It's super scary. And having almost nobody to talk to sometimes, it's even more difficult. Did I want to call a suicidal hotline? I was close. But I have my two mentors. I have my mom. I have friends that I can talk to. But still, that wasn't enough. I had to keep watching TED Talks on something interesting. I had to keep reading an interesting book to keep my mind active. Doing the YouTube channel is the best thing, the best therapy that I've had in a long time. I'm able to go outside, take my life back, and do little videos about each place I go to, because for 6 years I was not able to do so. Now, I talk about my house. The oil burner still, every once in a while, puffs up that exhaust smell. And look at my eyes. They're always bloodshot in the wintertime. This house drives me bananas. It's either keep trying to fix the issue or I gotta move. I've been saying I want to move for the past 5 years. But I love this place. And it's my problem if I'm the one that keeps staying here and I don't do anything about it. So I prefer to keep trying to fix the problem for a little bit of money than trying to spend all kinds of money trying to move. You know what it's like to move. You got to change your credit cards. Everything has to be changed. That's just a lot of time and effort. So I'm trying to fix the little things with my house. That's the best I can do, but at least I know what the problem is. That's the main thing. Okay, so last night I was watching a couple of YouTube videos on my situation. They showed foam insulation. So what I'm gonna do for a small project is go up, or go downstairs and take down all the dirty insulation. I went to Home Depot and Lowe's. Lowe's is the closest to my house, and I found great stuff, foam insulator. Now, I was looking for what they call a beak. It is a vertical nozzle that you put on the end of this, so it goes in nice smooth strips versus this. This will just blow up and shit will be everywhere. So went to Lowe's, got this, $7. Home Depot, I went looking for that nozzle. They didn't have it. I had to order on Amazon and it will be here on Tuesday. So I was like, you know what? I probably need another bottle. For $7, you get this bottle. You're definitely getting your money's worth at Home Depot versus Lowe's. And from the dust on top of this container that's been sitting around, where this is nice and fresh. So yeah, you're definitely saving, well, maybe not saving money, but you're getting more for your money at Home Depot for sure. Wow. All right, so that's gonna be my next project. I have to take down some drywall that they put up there for a barrier, and then I'll get in there, take down the dirty insulation, do some foam, and hopefully that will help solve some of my issues. And I'll do another video on that, seeing if it actually worked. So hopefully it does work and I'll make a video about it, okay? So that's that. I know now what affects my body, what triggers me to have migraines, what triggers me to have vertigo. I know now. And I can do stuff. Now I can do something about it. I can get away from it. It goes away. I control it by my foods that I eat. But unfortunately, every once in a while, I'll smell something, I get it, and it goes away. But it has improved from 6 years ago. But if you're gonna live in a polluted area and you don't do something about it, then you'll make yourself more miserable. Just like anything else in life. If you don't do anything about your situation, then you're gonna be stuck in that situation. I know my problem. It's either keep trying to fix it or you gotta move. Simple as that. I know that. But most of the time, the house doesn't give me any problems. Only once in a while. And when it does, it ruins my whole fucking perception of fucking, or whatever. It just ruins my day. It ruins my night. And I get pissed off and I just wanna fucking beat the fucking crap out of the fucking oil burner. But I love the location. So, that's just some of the stuff that these medications did to me. I'm sure there's people out there that have the same problem. Maybe not exactly the same way as mine, but you had some kind of mind-altering change from medications, whatever the case may be. Reach out and talk to somebody. Or email me, MikeBaldadonis@gmail.com. I'll be your friend. I'll try to help you get through things because I know what it's like. All right, so that's why I'm on YouTube, because I had suicidal thoughts and it helps me. Thank you for listening. Baldadonis out.